welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving a prediction reading for the 4th of September. Now if you are new here, I let my guides channel through to you. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I am outside with my doggos here. I've got Sophie and Sprocket who are both rescue dogs, so hopefully, oh there he is there, smelling my rhododendron, hopefully not eating the flowers. Sprocket, he is eating the flowers, oh my goodness. Cheeky little monkey. All right, so I'll close my eyes. We'll get started, guys, and we'll just see what comes up. Sprocket. What cheeky. Now, I'm getting the song Take It to the Limit. Now, it's something about take it to the limit one more time. Now, I think that song, is it by the Eagles? You guys will probably know more on there, but that's the song that I'm getting today. And that means this is the big pushback that's coming. We have to take this to the limit, meaning, oh, sorry guys, I got a big band-aid. My cat's had a bit of a cat fight yesterday. I kind of got involved. So we have to take this to the limit. And this is what I'm getting. Now, I've been talking on here about people uprising in September and what's kind of coming. And I did tell you guys about a channel that popped up called Reignite Democracy Australia, if you want to go check that out. And the girl that's on there is Monica, who represents Australia. But this is actually, they're creating a global movement. And it actually, all right, oh my gosh. And it actually starts on Monday. So if you guys go and subscribe to that channel, Reignite Democracy Australia. Oh, there's so much going on. The first, my dogs. The first, they're doing this in stages. Oh, that was my chair. Sorry, guys. They're not going to just push back straight against government. They're actually going to do this in stages. Oh, Sprocket. Excuse my dogs, everybody. I know you guys are regulars, are used to them. So this is what's happening. They're going to start to do different things, and we're trying to all do things in unison globally, and it's called the Global Walkout. So just go check that out. I think on Monday I'll share with you guys if I find out anything here, and we'll do that. But I'm getting this take it to the limit. So we need to take these things to the limit. It's a great song, actually, if you go and check that out. Let's see where else we go today. So we kind of have to do this one more time. And this is what the guides are saying to us. Now, I always talk about us kind of standing back, having a little break from all of this, and we've done our fighting, but it's also important that we still push our limits. Now, I talk about us creating, about manifesting, about focusing on where we want our life to go. This is for you guys watching my channel. That's very important to creating our freedom and the independence kind of our life moving forward. So that's what I'm definitely getting for us. It's really important that we still focus on those things, but we also need to take this right to the limit, because it's like we've stood back for a while now. And the thing is that we've sort of managed to regroup ourselves, and our I guess you could say rather like-minded people has grown. I talk about our blob movement, that people stick to it and it keeps growing. Well, that's what's happening now, and we've got to really stay united in our sort of front moving forward. I talked about it yesterday being this line of soldiers like the Bravehearts, and the line went to infinity, and that's what we've got to kind of move forward, united as like one big line of freedom fighters, I guess you could say. So it's important that we do really look at these other avenues and ways to sort of fight back against government. Just let's see what else we get today. I'm getting there could be an uprising in Perth, which is in Western Australia here. People are really fighting back in Perth. I'm getting it. Perth's a really large capital city here in Australia, and Western Australia is sort of very isolated from the rest of Australia. It's on the west coast, and they're fairly independent sort of to the rest of Australia. So I am getting there's like an uprising. Something's happening with Perth. There's a lot of movement there, and people are wanting to fight back. They're getting their courage up to fight back. I'm getting Perth. Hang on. I still get Sweden, Belgium, France, Munich. There's a lot of things happening. Look, there's a lot of activity happening and sort of percolating in the background. We know that it is. This is happening. This is that rising of the energy. There's a rising of the energy. And it's like that It's like this volcanic energy that's sort of percolating under the surface. And I would say when I get that volcanic sort of energy percolating, to me it's that hot energy of people, what's been inside of them for maybe, 3 years since we've been, you know, people have had to suppress their voices and not be heard and just do as they're told. Well, that energy is finally coming out. We talk here a lot about people's pain bodies and what's emerging from them. Well, now it's that volcanic eruption, but it's like everything's going to be erupting globally at the same time. And this is a good thing. We need these things to happen en masse now. We don't want all these truths and that to stay hidden. So the more that people stand up, the more that it starts to highlight all the garbage and lies and nonsense that's coming out. So I'm definitely getting this volcanic eruption. Oh, we might get some volcanoes erupting as well, because we know how energy works and people are in that sort of state. Mother Nature seems to also react as well. So it's going to be interesting in the next couple of months to see what emerges. So I'm getting that volcanic energy, a lot of heat and volatility, and that things bubbling to the surface. It's like something's been boiling away for a long time. You think of people who are waking up and how they've been simmering for probably a few years. Like we didn't simmer for long. We kind of came to the boil very quickly. If you're on my channel, didn't we? But this is what I'm getting. They're starting to boil over now, like the lava, the hot lava. People are boiling over and they're wanting to spew out their, I guess, anger, frustration, annoyance at government. They feel like they've been, it's almost like they're showing me like they feel like they've been sacrificed by government. It's kind of showing me like a pig on a spit. You know, if you think of any of those like really primitive tribes, how they'll tie a pig up on a spit and they spin it around and they cook it. Well, this is what they're showing me about these people waking up. They feel like government's had them strung up on this string and they've been slowly cooking them over this big open fire. And they've been tied up with their hands tied and their feet, you know, that sort of grip where your feet are tied up as well. And that's what it's felt like to these people waking up, that they've had their hands tied and there was like nothing they could do. But now there is something they can do, and they're starting to realise that they can wriggle themselves off the big piece of timber, or they can unravel their ropes on their hands and they can cut themselves free. I'm definitely getting that for these people waking up. Let's see what else we get today. Yeah, and that's what the guys are saying. Like the pork on the spit, the big... oh, God, it's such a terrible image, isn't it? But it's like the heat is really on these people now to wake up. So they can feel things are like burning. And see, this is that fire burning inside of them because they want to fight back and they want to speak up. And that's that heat of the fire underneath the pig on a spit. If you think of that, like the people going round and round on this rotisserie. And government keeps throwing all the wood on. We know how it goes. Keeps fueling the fire, right? Because it's actually igniting these people into action, which is good. And that's what we need to happen. So they're now realising that they've got to start to fight back, or they're going to be just cooked, so to speak. Hang on. I'll just see where else we go today. Wait. Yeah, I keep getting it. Cars, buses, trains, automobiles, all the transport industry is really going to start getting affected. This is happening globally. We know it is. We know they're pushing renewables. We know we're pushing the EV cars. We know all this is coming out, but it's not realistic to the lifestyles that we're currently living. So we know the infrastructure's not there. People aren't being guided through this properly. People are overwhelmed. People don't know how they're going to be able to afford this, let alone the cost of fuel prices. We know that that's skyrocketing. So I'm definitely getting that in the next couple of months. Sprocket, there's going to be a lot of this cars, trains and automobiles. All this is getting affected. Oh, and not to forget flying. Because we know here, they don't want people flying around. They only want the elites and the people in charge only want to be the ones flying around and having control and just flying off to their little islands. We often talk here about Fantasy Island, the show Fantasy Island, and how this is how these global leaders see their life in years to come, just them floating around. A lot of us here mention the Epstein Island, which does conjure up an image, doesn't it, of these wealthy elites. Well, this is what I'm getting. They don't want us to be flying around everywhere because then it's too hard to control us. So that's why a lot of these transports are being affected now. And that's, like I said, here in Australia we've got enormous amount of strikes. You guys will be having them too, I'm sure. I'm sure London will be. I've had that for a couple of weeks. So there's a lot going on around this industry, and we could say that's their main focus probably now moving forward. I did say the housing industry was going to collapse pretty much August, September, and it is. It's already. And see, isn't it funny? They gave us that that little lull period where the interest rates stopped moving for a little bit, but they're about to take off again. We all know that here on my channel. They're not going to stop. See, people get that illusion, oh good, they're stopping at this, but we know it's not going to happen. So people were still buying houses, being fooled, thinking, oh yeah, government's got their back, but we know government's never got their back, because it's never about us, is it, the little people? It's always about them and all their mates and how they can all make money from all of this. So that's what I'm getting. But in those next few months moving forward, we're definitely going to have renewables shoved in our face again. See, that's their main focus at the moment, getting the control of the people, controlling renewables, and like I said the other day, in yesterday's video, it's about bringing those resources closer in. So each country is getting tighter and tighter with their resources. They're wanting to know that they've got a hold and a good grip on their own resources, because that's what gives them the power. I said that the other day. It gives them power. It gives them a power globally. Come here, Sprocket, Sophie, enough. I'll just see where else we go with this today. Hang on. I'm getting Africa. Africa's fighting back. Africa is a nation that doesn't want to be dominated. Africa is a fairly independent nation. They like to run their own way, and they don't want the pushback that's being put on them. They can feel that something's not right. See, you think of Africa, it's been through a lot. It's a country that's had its ups and downs, its highs and lows, and it's certainly a country, I would say, that struggled a lot. If you think about it, let's look at those ads on TV that they put in your face all the time. You know, feed a child in Africa kind of ads that pull at your heartstrings and make you feel sick because they're always undernourished. Like, we're only getting told snippets of this. And where's all that money going? I guess we don't really know some of these things either. You know, adopt a child in Africa and all these ads that get put on TV, because we know how the mind manipulation works. It preys on people, people's emotions, and then people donate to things. And so I feel like Africa's going to be fighting back against a lot of big pharma, a lot of corporatisation. I'm definitely getting that for Africa. They sort of don't want to go down that road. They like to have more control and more say and more voice in their lives moving forward. So I'm getting maybe there could be a lot of pushback by Africa, or resistance in Africa. I am feeling that. Let's see where else we go. Okay, Canada's rising. God, I hope so. I hope you guys find the strength over there to keep rising. I do feel like Canada's, and this is around the capitals, like the major cities. There's definitely rising in these major cities, because again, it's like in Canada, people know that if they do this en masse, it's much safer than doing it as little subgroups. So I am getting that for Canada. You guys might find that there's a real shift in the energy over there, because people are waking up. You got to remember this, people are waking up. It's that volcanic energy, that anger and all that's rising up in these people. They want to fight back, but they're just, like I said, they're trying to work out the how. And in Canada, that's not easy to work out the how, is it? Oh my goodness, especially when they touch your bank accounts and people have a lot to lose. It's very hard to stand up against government, especially Trudeau. We know how he works. He just stomps everybody out, doesn't he, with everything that he does. So I am getting that Canada's really working towards that rising by grouping together. Let's see where else we go. Hang on a sec. And see, people don't want this. They don't want this. People don't want all this dictatorship in their lives anymore. People have been dictated to for 3 years now, and they know something isn't right. They know this is fishy. They're starting to question things. They're querying why this is happening. They're understanding that their lives are being taken from them. They're seeing it, not us. We already know that's what's happening. So these people are starting to see it. They can tell. They're smelling a rat. Something is off and something isn't right. Again, it's the gut feelings are telling them. They know it. They know it. But they're just trying to still, we've got to give them a bit of time to work out the how to fight back, because that's their ultimate challenge, is the how to fight back. But people have to work that out for themselves. Fortunately, they are in Australia here anyway. They're starting to do the strikes, the protests. Hopefully that global walkout comes to fruition globally. We'll all have to go and look that up and share all this info. Let me just see what else we get today. Oh, they're saying these government leaders, they're really, really cunning. Like they're coming for people. But see, it's like I said, they really look at our feeds on what we're looking up, what we're investigating, what's coming up on our computers. They're very cunning, and they know how to harness the information to the people that need it. I keep saying that. We know YouTube's getting fact-checked even more, and so is Facebook. But now they're feeding people the information they need moving forward. So, you know, again, it's going to be a lot of this renewable stuff. Gosh, here in Australia, they've already started with the ads on TV for, I think it's Ampol. There's an ad, and they're showing the people plugging in the car, and like Ampol's doing their bit, just like we said with the phrases and all the things they're starting to implement. So we know that's going to start to be pushed into these people's faces. So it's that desensitizing again. It'll become normal. Seeing someone plugging in an electric vehicle on an ad is just like becoming normal here in Australia, and yet only the wealthy still have electric vehicles. Most of the middle class, lower class do not have electric vehicles. They might have a few hybrids, but then you don't really plug a hybrid in, do you? It works sort of off the battery. So we're already getting ads on TV now, and this is what they're starting to do, because they're very, very clever with their manipulation rollouts, and they're going to start feeding people what they need to be fed in order to start to switch their mind, their psyche. We know how good they are at doing it. Look at the mass psychosis with the jab. Easy as, piece of cake. But people aren't in the mass psychosis for all of this. So they're just bringing now subliminal messages that are going to be fed to the people that need to hear them. I wonder what they decide to feed us. We'll have to take note what's on our feeds, our Facebook feeds, and what ads we're getting and this sort of thing. Actually, that'll be interesting to see what pops up on our scrolls, won't it? With even YouTube, because they know what we all look up and all that sort of thing. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? So take note of that. Let me know down below what you guys are getting in your algorithms, because I'm definitely getting that they're going to be really trying to, as we know, when it comes to the vote. And look, we could pretty much say that Dan Andrews in Victoria here in Melbourne's got the vote in November, and we know that they're going to be trying to, you know, stand with Dan. Like I said, he's bringing in his wonderful medical corporate centres, yes, to save everybody from the busy and overloaded hospitals and ambulances being banked up. You know, we know how it goes. So they're feeding all this positivity that Dan Andrews is the best and he's spending all their money really wisely. This is happening where you guys are. I know overseas and everywhere. Gosh, you'd have to have your head buried in the sand to not see how clever they are at the mind manipulation. Oh, well, we all know it here on my channel, don't we? Let me see if there's anything else to close with today. And people are, they're running scared. But they're running scared from government. I keep saying it. They're running out of the darkness of the tunnel that they've been trapped in for 3 years, virtually, and they're running towards the light because they want out. It's like abandoned ship, and they're all running. They're running. Because they're still trying to figure it out. See, they don't know the things that we know. See, we've got to remember that here. We've got to allow these people time to construct a story. It's like they're putting their own story together. But, you know, their story's different to our story. Like our story, we knew straight away, oh, this is the COVID agenda story. We know where this is heading. And then it heads to the reset story. And then there's going to be renewables. And then there's going to be taking over the farm. So we know pretty much where the story's headed. These people don't know the story. All they knew was there's the big COVID agenda pandemic story. So as far as these people know that are waking up, this was all a pandemic. These things have all emerged, according to the government. All the renewables, all the things, all the changing of the currency, moving to the digital system and having credit scoring and all this stuff that they might be hearing snippets about, not a lot about. They don't go into the depth that we kind of do and investigate things. But see, they think all these things, well, this is what government's trying to fool them with, have stemmed from the pandemic. The pandemic has caused this. The pandemic has caused job losses. Now we need to immigrate people in Australia because there's no one to work. Well, we know why there's no one to work. Because when you mandate your staff and you lose everybody and they go and find other jobs and don't come back, yeah, you're going to be short-staffed because people don't want to take a trial jab. So How does that not even come into it? So these are the things these people aren't logically seeing still. They're just not piecing that together. They think there's a huge job shortage, like because of the pandemic. How's the pandemic create loss of jobs? You know, it's just ridiculous. So, you know, all businesses that have gone under, everything's gone south. But, you know, that's the story they were fed in the beginning. So they really seriously thought this was like the pandemic story. We knew it wasn't the pandemic story. I always talk about that here. We knew it was the stepping stone. The pandemic was the stepping stone that was going to lead us into everything else, which is all the other chapters of the Great Reset book. And like I said, there's still many more chapters to come. Gosh, we've already been hit practically with the touching the health industries now, and how the GPs can't bulk bill now, and that means do any people for free. So they've got to create these wonderful corporate clinics that they're, you know, all... well, I'd say pissing in each other's pockets, basically, is how these elite people work. That you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. We know how it goes. So that's what these people are still trying to work all this out, because they're still, because of the mass psychosis, they still think everything's coming now because of the pandemic, the CV virus. But we know it wasn't. We knew that was just the stepping stone, like I said. But these people will work it out, because what has... and climate change, obviously the big topic of the moment. What has climate change got to do with a pandemic? Like, how is there even any connection there? See, there's no logic in that. So people have still got a logical mind. We have to remember that. So that's why things are starting to just feel skewy for these people over here. Hence, we're getting that volcanic eruption of their anger that they've had suppressed for like 3 years of having no voice. Oh, we know how it goes. We've all been there, haven't we? We erupted a long time ago, though, and we spilt out like lava, but we've cooled down now. We're like the cooled lava. Goodness me. Let me see if there's something to close with. Hang on a sec. Yeah, it's true. People can't believe this is happening. People can't believe this is what their life has become. They can't. They can't believe that every conspiracy is coming to fruition. They pray and hope that it's not real, and that the jab's real and everything was real that they were fed. But as we know here, it was all garbage. And it's almost like they're embarrassed to admit it. And we look, we can understand that, because who wants to be wrong? But it's not a matter of being wrong. It's a matter of standing up now and getting your freedom back. Like that song says, take it to the limit. Push the limits and see what you can shake. If you can shake government off their course. God, we do it all the time. We've been doing it for yonks. A good year or more we've been really fighting back. You know, we've been resting a bit now and chilling a little bit, watching all this play out. Yes, we have. But this is what the guides are saying. They have to start. I guess is what the guides are saying, is they have to face their reality, because it is their reality now. It's not conspiracies anymore. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. It's not conspiracies anymore. It's truths. The truths are coming out. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Oh, it's just the best thing, isn't it, when things just come into reality. But don't worry, because these people are going to start getting their concrete evidence too. I talked about us a lot way back in the day, when we used to always yearn to have that like concrete evidence, and we always wanted to know kind of, oh, we just need that proof that this Klaus Schwab's real, and that the reset's real, and that they really are trying to... And then suddenly everything started to happen. Well, these people are now getting their concrete evidence. Don't worry. And it's showing me like these people waking up. It's showing me that the concrete has like been poured around their feet, so their feet are stuck in the truth now. So these people waking up, it's like their boots are stuck in the truth, and they're going to have to wait for the concrete to set so they can step out of their boots and walk towards like freedom and the light. So don't worry, they're getting surrounded by the concrete evidence now, and that's the people waking up. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Look, have a wonderful weekend. It's a beautiful day here. It's Father's Day here. Happy Father's Day, any of you dads out there. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You might not be celebrating it today, but in Australia we do. And we just had a beautiful lunch. Our boy shouted us lunch. It was beautiful. He's 19, so he's working now. So I'm going to say goodbye from Australia and bye from my doggos, and have a wonderful day. Hit the like buttons, and don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. You know I love hearing from you. Here's Sprocket. He always has to come and say goodbye. Say goodbye. Bye. Oh, doggy kiss. I do love this big mutt. They love it when I'm outside with them in the garden. All right, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.